in the air. Channel 7 is not shooting out in the air on Channel 7.
Open air broadcast.
Yes. Cable companies
old school antenna. Yes.
Cable companies are not using cable anymore to send all the cable channels to you. They are streaming it. The technology is streaming. So the same thing what you do on Facebook, on YouTube, that it's the same technology. All of us now are in the same boat. So we have to separate out now which streams are income generating, which streams are really broadcasting, and which ones are not. And most streams are not that you with your camera and you are just an individual, you're not broadcasting. They're like, this blah no got nothing to do with you. Like, get out of the mix. And so many people who are writing videos and all kind of stuff, Scott, they're totally clueless. They're totally clueless. Yeah. You know, so this is not for content creators. It is for people who broadcast. And some people who broadcast do create content, like this is content right now. So if you have a podcast, I have a morning show, we are doing exactly the same thing. Your podcast and our morning show like is exactly the same thing. And if you on your podcast are brought to you through the courtesy of sponsored by, we cut for a commercial break, drink this drink, what are you doing? What are you doing? So you want to do that free? But then Channel 5 have to pay, Channel 7 have to pay. So we create a new category that's not as expensive. You're not paying close to what we pay, but you need a license. You need a license because you're driving on the highway.
And there has to be definitions that define those boundaries to where it fits for these ones but not for those ones. Right? Yes.
And that's basically what the legislation is, because everybody is streaming now. Whether you're at a granny, where just pick up your phone and carry your picnic live, or you're at Channel 5 where they go live. All of they use the same technology. So the legislation seeks to separate individuals and persons and people where they sell clothes online and all of that funeral and then say, okay, now like this is what we consider broadcasting to be. These people require a license, like something so simple, so necessary. It's just like sit down and I watch it. I said, why do these ends we rough? We really ignorant to reading, but we have generated a lot of opinions. So I don't even know how it's going to go, because you have to regulate the industry, you know, but it's like people want to drive taxi without a taxi license.
Yes.
Like that's the problem, you know. Nobody, you to carry your Maya, you to carry your picnic day, you go in the car with your friends and you tell everybody why everybody have to put in $10 each. You're still not a taxi. They are your friends and you're just doing it. But if you start to go to Cayo every day and everybody have to give you $10, what do you think the taxi association will say?
Yeah.
You know, because now you're generating income on your vehicle. Yes, it's your vehicle. Yes, it's your gas, but you really have a taxi without a taxi license. What do you think the police is going to pull you over and say, sir, you're doing this every day. Who are you and what are you doing? So I wish people would understand.
And no green plates, right?
Right, and no green plates.
Yes.
So,
yeah.
So,
but
I think did we have a call, or the caller has left? 822-2031.
Please feel free to call back.
We'll take that call, yeah.
But did you watch World Cup? Are they here?
The caller is on.
Okay,
yeah,
good.
Yeah. Yeah. Uh-huh.
Did we lose him?
Caller, please.
Morning.
Again,
yeah, go ahead and call back.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. World Cup.
Did you watch?
Wait, the person is on.
Are they still?
Caller, good morning.
Hello.
We have a little bird on the line, I think.
Hello.
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Morning.
Is that coming from the phone? That's coming from the phone.
Hello.
Yes,
morning.
sir. Go ahead.
Hello.
Go ahead. Go ahead and call back. Just quickie, did you hear what the reward is for winning World Cup? $50 million US. And Spain goes to get on the airplane and it's like, sorry. You need to talk with the tax office here. You come to the United States, we got him? Okay.
Wow.
Yes. Big thing.
You earned your money.
You earned your money in the U.S. and you have to talk with the IRS before you get on that plane.
You can't just say, "Oh, but we just come play football and we
just want a league game."
We can do a league game.
A league game.
We immediately minimize what we do.
That's right.
Carla.
Good morning, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning, Pastor Wade. Good morning, Pastor Scott.
Morning, good to hear your voice.
Hello?
Yes, we got you.
No connection. Hello.
Morning, we got you. Go ahead.
Yeah, there's an interruption in between there.
Yes.
Hello?
Go ahead.
Oh my, can't.
Are you watching the TV? Just watch the TV. When I put my hand up like that, you can go ahead and talk. Yeah, even if you can't hear, you need to be watching the television, and we're silent. So call again and just begin to talk. Once you're on, just begin to talk. So,
but I think on the World Cup thing, the government has the right, the responsibility in collecting tax. Nobody likes it. Nobody's excited about it, right? But and regulation means control.
Yeah. Carla, good morning. You can go ahead.
Good morning, Pastor Scott.
Morning. Go ahead.
No connection.
Yep, go ahead.
No connection.
Yeah, anyway, we can't take that anymore.
Yeah.
Regulation
is control, Louis, and nobody likes control.
Yeah.
And so I went to the liquor license meeting off of the new legislation that's coming, and but the mayor made a comment that they're having the hardest time with enforcement just on something simple like motorcycles and people not wearing helmets, and when they go to enforce, like, they get this big lash back, right? And anyways, I went and encouraged the mayor afterwards, like, Mayor, don't back down. If the law is the law, the problem is these lawless people. And and I think most everybody in Belmopan are very good people, but then you got these ones, they're just lawless and rebellious, and everything you do they're going to rail up about, and they're going to try and lash you back or whatever, right?
Yeah,
but
I think there's a anti-establishment, anti-institutional
lawlessness.
It's
a lawless spirit, and so but the government always has the right to enforce the laws. But we have a friend that's moving over to Taiwan to go to school. And everything we've heard from over in Taiwan, you were over there, and like everybody obeys. If you forget your cell phone, on the transit, or you don't have to worry that somebody's going to take it. It will be turned in to the proper people, and you could go find it right back. And it's just. But why is it that way? I believe it's because of enforcement, right? And once you crack down back here, everybody starts to, you pull in, and we have the exact opposite, I think, in Belize. And but anyways, all of this thing, that regulation is control, right? And the government has that right and responsibility, right? Because sometimes, all right, we had one of our ad hoc news agencies, supposedly through Facebook, that reported openly names, faces, pictures about somebody who ended their life, right?
I was just going to use it as an example, right? That there are social media sites, social media Facebook sites that are absolutely lawless. They're absolutely lawless, yes. And they're getting advertisement and spreading misinformation. They want to be the first with their information, and then they literally steal information from Channel 5, Channel 7, Love FM, PlusTV, Creme. They steal it like they don't have journalists, Scott. They wait until it is broadcast by legacy media. They wait until a post is done, and then they literally rewrite it and put it out
or
there.
sometimes copy and paste.
Like, yes, like straight teeth. Then secondly, you have them libel because their names are not on the site, on this Facebook. And they are the most popular Facebook pages because they sit down all day and post. They are not out there getting news. They are not out there doing interviews. Yeah. They sit around the computer, so they can post. They are just scrubbing Facebook. Pastor Wade posts something, they turn it into a controversial comment, defame, then all the comments begin to cuss you out, but their name is not on their company. It's like you see here, you know immediately who the PlusTV, who owns PlusTV, and you know exactly who for sue, you know exactly who for call and say, please take that down, and also again. You know all of these companies on social media break the law, they violate the rights of Belizeans, and their names and publishers are totally missing, so you can't do anything about them, and enough is enough. Those are the people that the legislation seeks to regulate. Yes, it's them. And so what they have done now is they begin to say, oh, everybody with a content creator, everybody with a stream, oh, if you just carry on the live government, they try and make money off, and you know that will spread like wildfire. But the truth of the matter is, it is legislation to literally protect information, protect people who are doing things the right way versus, and that these owners of these companies need to be held liable for their content, just like Channel 5, Channel 7, and these other places, PlusTV, Creme, Love FM, are liable for their content. And then we have to pay big money to be able to do this content and to advertise, and they do nothing. Scott, they literally are leeches on the backs of legitimate media houses that do the work.
That's right. They reap the benefit, reword it, maybe, and then put it on their site to get the clicks. And then I think most of them, well, even some of them are monetizing old school by advertisement because they're running ad promotions, right? Yes. And so they're making their money off of that. But they have no scruples, they have no conscience, they have no boundaries. Yeah. And like I said, that there's a general rule, I don't think it's a law, but I think it's a general rule within media about not reporting on when somebody ends their life, because the statistics have shown the power of suggestion, right? And then that multiplies. And yet these people will just blast, they'll put out all the details and expose somebody, expose the family and all of that in very difficult times, simply because they have no boundaries. Right, and so the legislation is cracking down on that and establishing some boundaries. Just and like
then also, Scott, you have cable companies that pay 50,000, 100, like to give you, to bring you cable. Like they're paying licenses to be able to give you cable. And then you have people in the country that are bringing in little black boxes and so on, selling it way cheaper, that are giving you 100 ad channel, and they are violating international law. And then America and these countries come down upon all of us right? All of us, because these guys are out there, fly-by-night companies, selling these little devices, cracking things, making hundreds of channels available. So the company will legitimately they pay licenses. They lose customers to people who not pay licenses, right? So and they're raking in all of this money and not paying taxes, not employees, because just one guy or two guys in our room taking illegal stuff from real content creators and literally just rebroadcasting for their own money. So cable have to have an interest to ensure that if you were in the stream multiple channels like one cable company, you need to pay your cable license and come in legitimately. You can't come in through the back door. Like, these are the realities why industries have to be regulated, because they are huge investments. Yeah. And it doesn't mean you want to make money. So you could in your room and you'd make $100,000 and the company out there would spend $1 million could they in the hole. Right. You know? Right. So you have to regulate the industry. And those laws have to pass, because the technology has changed. As I said, we're no longer using frequency, right? Nobody is broadcasting open air anymore. It is all streaming. So read the legislation and you could still make changes. Like they're not saying this is it. They're literally saying, oh, this is what we have put together. So have you noticed, Scott, that there's more consultation taking place now? Right? Yep. There's so liquor license is doing consultation, Ministry of Health is doing, Ministry of Transport is doing, Ministry of Broadcasting is doing. You can see that the level of interaction of legislation with the general public has dramatically increased in an unprecedented way. Yeah. Now I'm not making a pro-government statement, I'm not making an anti-government statement or a pro-PUP or UDP. It is just the fact that consultation has increased. Yeah.
And yet, Louis, if people don't see the importance of being involved, they don't show up. And so I didn't realize that there's a tour on this liquor license thing, right? And so they're systematically going across the nation. But they shared that, I think they went out to San Ignacio for the forum. It was like less than 20 people that showed up, right? Yeah. And we had a little bit more than that in Belmopan. And yet this is talking about liquor license and availability of liquor, or cracking down on that. And yet, so I don't know if it's a communication thing, or if it's a promotional failure, or whatever, or just people not being interested, but it's wrong. I'm not even from Belmopan, and I was there at the meeting because I feel a responsibility. As a leader in the church, as a leader in the community, I feel a responsibility, right? So I was there, and so anyways, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. And then finally, before we go, this population, United Nations Population Fund, it's happening a lot more, Scott, that these international groups are now have their hand waist deep in a national affairs.
That's right.
Because it's happening in education. Like the Ministry of Education is putting together policy for education for the next, let's say, 10 years or something like that. So what's supposed to drive Belize's education is the needs of Belize in Belize by the industry, by the tourism, by religious groups, by NGOs, by environmentalists, all of them coming together to say, all right, this is what we think the Belizean citizens should know to cope with the problems that we have, to cope with what is going to happen down the road. We need more doctors, more nurses. It's science-based, it's STEM-based, it's this. All of these things, like this is our culture, this is our heritage, these are the norms of our society. And then you have in that same room lone people from United Nations and international NGO. They they dictate, and they have input. Yes, some of them are Belizean, but they are representing foreign entities. They represent foreign entities. and are manipulating what goes into Belizean content. And because let me put it this way, if we as Belizeans are lazy, don't want to read, leaving the job up to other people, this is how this, especially this LGBT ideology, slowly tries to work its way through a society.
It's true, Louis. I'm looking right now. This morning I went on the United Nations Population Fund website. I'm not sure if we want to put this up. I can send this to you. Or
right. So United Nations Population Fund, Belize. Does that sound like a fund that is interested in increasing the Belizean population? Because we have a problem. We have a problem in Belize. Our fertility rate is going down, right? The number of children that are being born in every family is going down. We have a major problem with men playing their role in family, absent fathers. Abortion is not legal in Belize. So what is the United Nations Population Fund doing, trying to set up homosexual billboards throughout the country of Belize? Like, this is now a Belizean ethic.
The campaign is for pushing pride and identity, right? And so anyways, I think it's absolutely crazy. And I went to go onto that website, and it said access denied. And I thought, well, okay, this is interesting. But so I sent that to our group, Louis, if we want to put that up. Yeah, the UNFPA Fund for Population is United Nations Sexual and Reproductive Health Agency. So that tells you exactly what they're wanting to do.
Yeah, kind of weird how they word the mission, delivering a world where every pregnancy is wanted.
Yeah, and I thought, interesting how they can spin abortion, into a positive thing. Yeah. And yet these are the same exact ones that are promoting the sexual promiscuity, right? And so anyways, then they wind up raking in money off of that. So a lot of this is all money driven, Louis. And like what you said, they come into Belize and got their arms, up to the elbows, and it's all because of money. And because people
they pay their way in.
People just melt like butter when somebody's bringing money, whereas the truth of the matter is we should be showing them to the door. So, sorry, we're not interested in this in our country.
Yeah. Ideological prostitution, where once they pay the right amount of money, then their ideology can sit around the table and write itself into curriculum. And so, we are continuing to monitor these things, and we will be keeping you updated. Stay engaged. Your closing comments this morning, Scott.
Well, I want to encourage...
Sorry for a short show.
That's okay. I want to encourage all of us that we need to be actively involved in our nation. We need to be actively involved in these consultations. And, I know we're all busy. We've all got all kind of different things. If you got kids, and we got school stuff, and we got summer programs, and this and that and that. But democracy only works when the people are actively involved, and then those values will be guarded and maintained when they're monitored by the people. The people need to be actively involved. That's why I went to the liquor license, presentation and forum, because I wanted to hear what's going on with this, and again, I am deeply concerned, Louis, about our statistics in Belize. Belize consumes twice as much, more alcohol than Mexico per capita, the nation of Belize. And we consume more marijuana than Jamaica, if you can imagine. And per capita, we're talking about per people. And we have a serious problem, Louis. We have a serious problem. I was driving behind a car in Belmopan one time, and this car's drifting over to the left and then drifting over to the right and almost going in the drain. And I called the police, and I said, this is where I'm at. I'm following this car. and they said, thank you very much. I kept following them, and it went to one of the clubs in Belmopan, and I called them again and said, I'm right here at this club. The police showed up. I said, that blue car and the man with that green shirt, he just climbed out of the vehicle, right? And guess what the police officers told me? They said, sir, we wish we had more people like you in our country, right? And I felt good because, again, these values will only be strengthened when we get actively involved. So I just want to encourage everybody. This Afui Nation, you have to be involved. You can't tune out.
Yeah, I think you hit the nail on the head when you say responsibility. I feel responsible for what happens in this nation. Like that encapsulates Belizeans. You need to have a sense of responsibility. Like, what is the nation that you will pass on to the next generation? Like, that's my interest. You know, like, I'm very much interested in knowing that I pass a better nation on to the next generation, spiritually, developmentally, and in every way. So thank you for joining us this morning. Don't just join us by watching. Why not join in with us in this quest to make God glorified in every area of this nation? The benefits are out of this world, as one would say. So pray for us, but pray with us. Watch us or join us, not just stream-wise, but in the work that needs to be done in this nation. From all of us here, and God bless you, Belize. See you tomorrow.
Louis, thank you. Belize, have a wonderful day.
Sweet Belize, land of the sand and sea, land of the coconut tree. I love me sweet Belize, sweet Belize, land of the isles and keys, land of the barrier reef.